Okay, what three words best describe our film?
Intimate,
Tender,
lusty,
liberation,
meditative,
Gay,
gay,
patient,
desires,
quiet,
melancholic,
universal,
swimming.
confused,
That is better, actually. Maybe better than swimming.
becoming,
loving.
caring and loving.
and very queer.
I was going to say wet, but that was, let's cut that out.
Ragdolls is really a simple love story, and it's one that pays attention to access, care, and how people build lives together on their own terms.
Mahoy or Sweat. This is a film that follows a Vietnamese farm worker a day before he's about to cross the border of Vietnam. As he navigates through Vietnamese landscapes with his co-worker, they can discover more about themselves and also the nation.
of I Hate Helen. It's our short film about queer lust, I would say.
Having lusty feelings and not knowing what to do with them.
I think being a young person and not knowing what to do is the overarching theme of the film.
Room 206 talk about search of identity, body image, motherhood, friendship.
Still, it's a film about this child who defies societal expectations in the 80s in Brazil.
it's about building desire and go after what you want to be, where you want to go.
As filmmakers, we have the unique ability to redefine what queerness is for audiences and to kind of allow them to see vast perspectives on screen.
It feels important right now because I think there are a lot of people out there who are being told in big and small ways that their lives or relationships don't really belong in public view. 5 Films for Freedom makes space for stories about love and self-expression and chosen family, to move across borders and reach people who might not usually see themselves on screen.
I think that the LGBTQIA plus community is very marginalized and in certain countries persecuted. So I think we need to highlight their stories. I think it's my duty and maybe your duty to talk about them and to support them and to show them that we actually see them. It's not an option. It's a need. We need to do that work.
There's so few stories about disabled people like falling in love, and even less about queer and Mexican disabled people falling in love. And so Ragdolls comes from that gap and from a desire to make space for love stories that have been missing for far too long. But we also hope that it connects with anyone open to seeing love and care a little bit differently.
I look at queerness not only through kind of a fixed lens of sexual identity, but also the unorthodox ways and temporalities that the characters move through or the ways in which they move throughout the film. And, my film goes against Hollywood's traditional narrative structure, and it kind of reframes it towards a Southeast Asian perspective and the slowness of life there.
I think desire moves us towards what we are like building, our personality. So I think desires move us to become someone, and we are not only one thing, we are multiples.
Inspiration comes a lot from my own experience as a child of immigrants and migrant parents, and basically seeing that they themselves gave up a life within Vietnam to kind of create a new future for mine. Going back to Vietnam and in like a US perspective, I think it has allowed me to really see new perspectives to the story of migration. This film is a reflection of that.
I remember when I was 5 and I saw a bunch of boys playing soccer, and I just joined them without thinking. For me, it was just a game, and I overheard the girl saying, but girls don't play soccer. But I didn't have this concept that sports were divided by gender.
I hope the audience can be sure that someone, especially a girl or gender non-conforming children, can be who they desire to be. If you can help this person, this child, to fulfill their desire, we have a responsibility. We have to help this little person to be whoever they want to be.
Sometimes I feel like we're getting a little bit away from feeling like we need to talk about young people coming out, but these stories are still relevant. I think often people think we've moved away from that a little bit, and I think it's just keeping it in the current conversation is important.
I want that little queer kid from Vietnam or around the world to be able to see themselves on screen.
I think the biggest takeaway is like the feeling of being seen and understood. And it's like, you're not a weirdo. It's a very understandable thing. And yeah, relevant today.
I never watched a short film as a child, for instance. I just got in touch with these sorts of films when I was a grown up. So this makes it more accessible for many people who don't have access to these types of films and can expand their horizon with new stories and that they can identify with.
Instead of talking about tolerance in the abstract, it kind of creates a connection by letting audiences spend time with real lives. So that kind of visibility of just being seen and taken seriously is really important right now.
At the end, he could be my brother, your brother. He could be your friend, your son. It could be you, me. So, like, we are just all equal.
I think art have this power to reflect about society and give tools to make people imagine different ways to live and different worlds. So I think a program like Five Films for Freedom can help people to move toward a more fair world.
I'm so excited about this. Thank you so much.
I was afraid, but now I'm like, okay, guys, here we go.
Wow.
End scene.